guys, Anitra J here from the Crafty Musician blog. I post weekly videos right here on YouTube helping musicians build a fan base and make money with music. Today it's going to be a bit of a different video. I'm actually going to tell you about my story. I know I have tons of videos on here about how to build your business, how to build a fan base, how to make money, gigging, booking, and all that kind of stuff. But today I wanted to just have a candid conversation about how I became an independent artist and tell you a little bit about myself and my background.
If you want to learn more DIY hacks for your music career, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be personally notified every time we upload a new video.
Okay, so number one, there might be a lot of activity here in the background at the park where we're staying at. A lot of people are leaving out today, so there might be a little bit of distraction. But getting into my background, I actually started out in corporate America. I went to college in Lafayette, Louisiana. I have a degree in public relations, and I got a job as a marketing professional, and I did marketing and public relations for a good while until the economy started to go into a recession and I got laid off. So getting laid off, it was devastating to me because I felt like I put a lot of effort and investment into my career, and just being laid off just like that, it just felt like a slap in the face. And so all that hard work I put into my education and investing in a career, it just made me rethink my whole approach to life. And so I had always wanted to be a singer, recording artist, so I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to invest in being a musician because that's really what my passion is in the first place. So I'm just going to do that instead, since this other thing didn't work out. So I just went full force into learning guitar. I taught myself how to play guitar. I went full force on writing songs and just learning how to be a songwriter, learning how to perform, and I really enjoyed myself. And so I all of a sudden had a CD. I had enough material to produce an album worth of songs, so that's what I did. I self-produced my first album, and then I had a soft launch type of thing where I did a reception and a show where I performed 3 covers and I performed 3 original songs, and I invited my friends and family to come and listen, and that was my test. You know, I was just going to test it out and see if the reception was great for myself and my music, or if I was just kind of like, you know, like hoping for a pipe dream or something. So that show was going to confirm for me whether or not I needed to pursue music or just try to get another job. Right or wrong, that was just my mentality behind it. So we had the show, and it was a huge success. We had a full house. So many people showed up, and they absolutely loved it. It was a dream come true. I mean, I did great. People came up to me and said they loved my original music better than the covers. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. So after that show, I just went full force and decided to just pursue music full time. So after that, I just continued to learn guitar, continued to play songs, continued to write music, and then I decided to start doing shows in the public, like as a real professional musician. And my first couple of shows, I did open mics, I did coffee house shows, I did an art market type show where I connected with a Mary Kay lady, and she organized an art market with a local boutique shop, and so I just kind of sat outside the shop and performed my music. That was like one of my first shows, and I was a ball of nerves. I was so nervous the whole time, and the whole time I was thinking, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this, y'all. I'm like, I'm out here with my guitar and just playing, and I don't know if it sounds good or not, but I'm getting paid. That was what I was thinking in my head. But after doing a few shows like that, I had started to build confidence in myself. I started to build a network of people in the local area and started to build a fan base. And it's funny because I was living in Charlotte at the time, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the music scene there was more. There were more opportunities for bands and like rock artists and more like punk rock and Americana. So for my genre, my style, and being a solo performer, I really had to create a scene for myself and create opportunities for myself. So I started an Artists in the Round series where I invited a poet and I invited 4 other singer-songwriters to come and perform on stage with me. We took turns going around doing songs and poetry, and I just started to invite people. I organized and produced the event, and we together invited people, invited the community, and it was a hit. We had it every other month, I believe, and it was a big hit. People loved it, and that's the main factor in how I started to build my fan base, because we collected emails and we gave away gifts every time, and just made the event an event, made it a social thing for people to come out to. And it had become this social function that people wanted to come to. And so that's how I started to build a fan base there. And it was also cool because I got to perform on stage with other people, so it kind of took the pressure off of myself, and we kind of shared that pressure. So it was indeed a learning experience for me. It helps me to build even more confidence, and I also learned a lot from the other performers, and it was just a really great opportunity. So that's one thing that I like to stress, especially in my one-on-ones with people, is that if you don't have opportunity, it's time for you to create your own opportunity. Get creative and start to think outside the box on how you can create your own opportunities for yourself to get ahead and advance in your career. But after that, we ended up moving to Nashville and started to tour a lot more. I connected with a college booking agent and started to get shows at colleges and universities, and that really helped to bring in some income there, because colleges and universities, they do pay a lot more than just a regular gig. So doing colleges and universities and doing touring a lot, that really helps to solidify a consistent income so that we could do music full time. So that's basically our story. The other factor in terms of being full time is that you really have to look at your finances, look at your output, look at your overhead in terms of family and lifestyle. Like, how are you spending your money? Are there ways that you could decrease your spending in order to make the jump to being full-time? And so that's something that we spent a lot of time doing. We had a 4-bedroom 2-story house in Charlotte, and we decided to sell the home and move into a 1-bedroom apartment. And so that's how serious we were about looking at our expenses and making sure that we could afford to go full-time at that point in time. We also, after that apartment in Nashville, we went totally off the wall and built a tiny house. And so now we live in a tiny house. That's a whole nother story for another day. I'll post a link. We actually appeared on Tiny House Hunters. I'll post a link for our episode down here in the description box below. You can take a look at that. But yeah, that whole experience was a lot of fun. But anyways, building a tiny house really helped us to gain control over our overhead and expenses, and helps us to have more flexibility and mobility in terms of where we live, and also just being able to be financially independent and have less overhead expenses, so that we can afford to do music full time. But it's just, like being an independent musician, I started from scratch. I didn't have anything. I didn't have any, I don't have a rich uncle, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have any support. I don't have any connections in the music industry. It's just a matter of your desire, your passion, and your willpower. Like if this is something that you really want to do, you're going to find a way to make it happen for yourself. Everybody's story is different. There's no right or wrong way to launch yourself into becoming a full-time musician. It's just based on your personal situation and how you can navigate different challenges that you have in particular. I love being a musician. I love doing this full time. I love being able to share my music with other people, share my passion with other people. It's a very vulnerable space to be in. It's very lonely. You're putting yourself out there, but the fulfillment and reward you get from hearing someone come up and say, you know what, your whole entire album is therapy for me. It helps me to get through this very challenging time in my life. That happens. And just getting random checks in the mail from fans because they really enjoy your music, they really like the impact that you made on their life. That's where your reward comes in, is knowing that you're impacting people's lives in a very positive way. So that's my story in a gist. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Crafty Musician blog, how I got started with the Crafty Musician blog. I remember, and this was a long time ago, over 10 years ago, I remember just trying to go online and getting all the resources I can to learn how to build a business as an independent musician. There wasn't many resources available, especially from other musicians who are doing it in person, that personal voice. There wasn't a lot of voices like that online, and I just thought that was very, it was lacking, and so I knew that that's what I needed, so I filled that space for myself. And just basically the Crafty Musician blog is to pretty much catalog the lessons I've learned and catalog my journey, but also to help share the things that I've learned in my experiences with other musicians like you, and to present the information in a way that's relatable, in a way that you can resonate with, in a way that you can take and apply to your particular career, your life, your music, your artistry. And I just felt like there wasn't a whole lot of resources like that online, especially with my educational background, my professional background. Being an artist is a lot of business. You have to have a lot of business savvy. You have to be able to promote and market yourself. You have to be able to create a brand for your music. And so it's not just being a musician and getting on stage and playing your guitar and going home. You have all these other hats that you have to wear in terms of being business savvy, having the right web presence in place, having the right people on your team, and just being able to have the right marketing mix to put yourself out there. Because you could be doing music and having a good time, sounding great, but no one will know that you're there unless you tell them, right? So you have to have a marketing strategy in place, and I think that's the one piece that a lot of us are missing, and that's where I feel like the Crafty Musician blog can really be a big resource for musicians wanting to build a career and build a business. So that's my story. That's how I got started. That's how the Crafted Musician blog came to be. And I love talking to you. I love doing one-on-ones. So if you are interested in just like brainstorming how you can start a career in music or how you can advance your career, give me a call. I have a link down below in the description box where you can set up an appointment. Your first appointment is free, so take advantage of it. I love to talk, and I would love to help you in being a full-time musician. So give me a call. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope that you got a lot out of my story and that we can connect the next time.
If you'd like to follow the steps I took to become a full-time independent musician, download my free 8 Steps to Full-Time checklist. It walks you through all the steps I took to become a full-time singer-songwriter. Check out the link in the description box. Head on over to thecraftedmusician.com for more tips and tricks to level up your music career. Talk to you soon.